Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm UncleLander and this is Gran Turismo 2 GT mode playthrough. On the last episode we have finished the 50 laps of the special road stage 5, and on today's agenda I have in plans completing the 60 laps on the Grand Valley Speedway. From all the cars that I could pick up for this peculiar race, I have decided to go for Venturi Atlantic 400 GT. How am I picking up the cars? Well, I have a spreadsheet of cars that are present in that peculiar race, and out of all the cars, I'm picking one that's gonna give me the best power to weight ratio and the best performance. And from all of these cars, for this race, is Venturi Atlantic 400 GT, but there's also those Esprit V8 SE, which would be also pretty good because it can squeeze the actual amount of power that's required for this race. But the thing is, it's a little bit too heavy, but it's the second best choice. Anyway, Venturi Atlantic. Let's test this car in its vanilla form. First at 400 meters. Also, as a reminder, as I do it on every single episode, this episode, like every single other one, is recorded live on Twitch, twitch.tv/UncleLander. Come in, say hi, take a look at what I'm playing, because I'm not gonna only play Gran Turismo, I'm playing variety of video games. Say hi, it's nice. Alright, 400 meters. Hello Jinja, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Let's see how this car performs at 400 meters. .780 on 400 meters. You had one of those weeks. Ugh. Well, sadly that's unranked. Yeah, one of those weeks when you think that bad case of a Mondays is not bad enough. All of a sudden you have the entire week that's just shitting you. Can relate to that. I can genuinely relate to that. Let's try this car at 1000 meters. I'm doing pretty fine. I hope everybody else is also doing fine today, after all it's weekend. .380. Oh, hi Chris, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Well, sadly this car is unranked. There we go. No, you've been playing Starfield. I am trying to avoid any spoilers for that game. A game that I don't even know if I'm gonna play, because Starfield is just not my thing. Despite the fact that it's like Fallout 4. Yeah, I'm also waiting for Cyberpunk DLC to come out. Okay, let's see the maximum speed of this car. And then I'm gonna modify it and I'm just gonna do the 60 laps on that track. You won't say anything Space King. As far as I care, if you enjoy it, I'm happy with that. That's all that matters to me. .280, maybe 300 kilometers an hour. I'm not really sure what kind of performance this car is gonna reach. To get on the ranking, I need to reach at least, I think, 318. Got 300, and we're gonna have 310, 11. It's not bad, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. On 12, 13, maybe 14, 15. Yep, 315. But it was just not enough to get ranked. It was pretty damn close though. I put spoiled in some of the pics I upload. Don't want to spoil anything. Yeah. Sadly, this car is unranked. Yeah, we were just so close to get onto the ranking with the unmodified car. We needed like at least 2 kilometers an hour. Oh well. Oh well. Let's go and modify this car. Let's prepare it for the 60 laps of the Grand Valley Speedway. Which I initially thought that for Grand Valley Speedway you're gonna have to bring the TVR Cerbera for 5. Which at that point I thought because it has the most power and the best weight, it's gonna be the best car to bring onto that race. Boy, was I wrong. Sure, the TVR had like 550 brake horsepower and it had less than a ton of weight after modifying the car, but it was absolutely undrivable. It was very, very bad. So then I went, okay, so which is the second lightest car? Because we have to also keep in mind that the race is gonna have a tire degradation. Venture Atlantic, okay, screw this. The car is not gonna be even remotely as powerful as TVR, but I was like, let's give it a try. If it's gonna drive good, I can figure out the strat, I can figure out the setting. And so I took the Venture Atlantic onto the track, and it actually performed pretty damn well. It actually wanted to grip. It didn't over-revved. It was actually drivable. It was actually very nice. Even on blue tires, this car have retained a significant amount of grip. So I was like, yeah, I'm sold. I'm good. I'm gonna be happy with that. In every 6 laps, we're gonna simply change the tires, and we're gonna basically just go through the entire race. Hopefully without many problems and issues. The only one weird thing that I have noticed about this car that it doesn't have, that it only has stage 1 turbo, even though the LM edition, the Le Mans edition of this car has 706 brake horsepower, but this one can only squeeze 476. Which is kind of a shame, because you really expect from this car to squeeze a little bit more of that power. Just a little bit more. But game decides otherwise. But honestly, even with this lower amount of power, this car still squeezes a better lap time than I could ever do with a TVR. And it's basically all about the grip. And when it comes to this car, we are not gonna need the active stability or traction control system. This car drives pretty well on its own as it is. $300 kilometers. Yeah, it's not 300 kilometers. It's gonna be way more. Okay. I'm bringing 476 brake horsepower engine to a race in which maximum power output 690. What could possibly go wrong? Okay, let's go and set up this car. 4.5 at front, 9.0 at back, 80 millimeters. That's good enough. 3 and 8 on the bound and rebound. Camber. Whoa. There goes Jinja giving a gift sub to Chris the Key, which gives him 205 subs. That's a great number. 205 subs gifted in total. Thank you very much for that gifted sub to Chris. And Chris, enjoy all the benefits of the ad reviewing and some nice looking emotes. Alright, so camber I have set the front at 1.0 and back at 1.5. The toe, the front is gonna be -10 and back is gonna be plus 0.10. Stabilizer 5 and 6. Brakes are gonna be 21, 22. Gears can stay at 12. This gearbox is actually pretty damn great because it doesn't overrev on the second gear like a mother. LSD axle and initial it's gonna be at 5, but diesel we're gonna set up at 30 for more stability. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let's start the 60 laps of the Grand Valley Speedway. We're gonna go to the pits every 6 laps because otherwise the tires are just not gonna do their job. It seems like we also have another Venturi Atlantic. I have noticed the RUF RCT in the back, Dodge Viper, TVR Cerbera, which that TVR has already went out of the track, and Lotus Esprit V8 SE. I really like how this car sounds. And even with just a stage 1 turbo, this car already has enough power to not only get on the first place, but also start losing the entire competition. And there we go, the first lap ended at 1 minute 54. Second lap of the race, we're gonna go to the pits. If the tires are gonna withstand the next 4 laps without many problems, we might actually extend we actually might change the strategy for this a little bit, and we're gonna go to the pits every 8 laps. Just sharing the positive vibes. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it. At least I'm trying to make this channel to look like it has positive vibes. I think I took that corner a little bit too wide, but it's fine. We're still on the track. How is that on the test? On the test drive, I can squeeze 148, but on the actual race, it's 150, like 2 seconds slower. So, have you guys seen that new Resident Evil movie, The Death Island? Because I actually managed to watch it yesterday, and I don't know how many of you are like interested in Resident Evil and altogether how many of you have seen the video. Not seen the video, but seen the movie in itself. Hey, Crunch. Hope you're doing well, glad to see you. Anyway, I have seen it yesterday. And out of all the Resident Evil movies, this one was not really the groundbreaking one. And I'm basically thinking right now how much I can say about this movie without giving a potential spoilers for the people who are actually interested in seeing that movie. Resident Evil Death Island. I don't know, how do you guys think? Because YouTube is kind of gonna understand. Are you guys okay if I'm gonna talk about it openly, like spoilers included? Because I don't want to be that guy. I'll have a look, is it on Netflix or Amazon? It should be, because it is sold in Blu-rays. So it should be on both. I guess the chat doesn't say if they would be okay or not, so maybe I will not really talk about it. Or maybe I'm gonna talk about it a little bit without giving too many spoilers. Like summarization, without like digging in too much. Because it is a 3D movie. I could tell a little bit about the graphical presentation, which is pretty great. The characters are looking fantastic, mostly at least. Chris looks freaking old, and I mean old. The ugliest character in the entire movie, I think it's Claire. They did something weird with her face. It just looks weird. It's like her features, like the eyes, are a little bit more inwards on the characters in comparison to everybody else, and it's like very clearly visible too. The monsters were looking good, though, to be quite honest. All the zombies and all the creatures that were involved in the movies, most of the time they were moving so freaking fast that there was not really that much of the opportunity to know these peculiar details, but from the shots that were just, you know, like zombies just rising slowly from the ground. Yeah, those zombies were actually looking pretty damn good. I think the best looking character in the entire movie was Jill. Like, they knew what they were doing. Because Jill was looking so good throughout the entire length of the film. Probably the prettiest character. The personality of the characters is also pretty good, though I believe in certain cases it's highly unexplored. Like, it really feels like they give you at the beginning of the movie, they give you like a premise of character evolving. Not really that much of development, but definitely characters evolving. But by the time you get into the main meat of the film, the character development just disappears. The main villain, he himself looks like the main evil guy from Hunt the Freeman, and also his premise is absolutely ridiculous because the character he just doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. That's all I'm gonna say. If there's one interesting thing that they have done, is that as you watch the movie, you can notice the way of the infection of how the zombies are actually getting created, and how it happens so freakishly fast. And the method of it, I don't know what to really think of it. In my opinion, the way that they have implemented people getting infected with the virus is so freakishly weird. Clever at the same time, but just weird. And I say it's weird because you can see how in certain moments, basically in certain situations, it's weird because I don't want to give like too many spoilers, but you can definitely see people not reacting to what causes the transformation at all, and then you have characters that are just reacting so badly to it that you could basically call it an overreacting even. The main villain's motivations are just stupid. I don't understand them. They're just super odd to me. Well, I need to scratch my lower lip over here, almost the chin. I couldn't wait, it was itching way too hard. And also one of the most promising things about the movie that was even showed in the trailers, the best thing that you actually want to see that everybody was really hyped about, happens only for the same amount, for the same duration of frames that happens in the trailer. Which is hugely disappointing. Because you see something that happens in that movie that would be absolutely great and fantastic, but it's not. Oh, you guys remember how I said that the Lotus Esprit V8 SE is like the second best choice? Well, this guy have actually turned out to be a driver number 6 in the race, which is yikes. because I was really thinking about driving this car for this race. But would I say that the movie is bad? No, not really. It basically is kind of lacking in character development. But it definitely has a lot of like Easter eggs. It definitely is dedicated to Resident Evil fans that are gonna be like... They're gonna be basically Leonardo DiCaprio in that meme when he just whistles and points at something. It's like, yeah, yep, that's it. That's the thing. There's gonna be a lot of things like this. Some of them very easily missable because they're only there for like a frame, for like a microsecond. Whoa, whoa, the Viper have spin? Right before the finish line? What the hell? Kind of embarrassing when you think about it. No, we don't have another spin. That's rough RCT if I see correctly from here. Which rough is basically a replacement for Porsche in the Gran Turismo 2. In Gran Turismo 2 did not get the licensing to use actual Porsche vehicles because that belonged to EA for a very, very long time. And rough, or RUF, pronounce it however you wish, is basically... It is basically a, How to explain it? Is basically a brand that takes the original Porsches, olds or news, modifies them, and sells them as new cars. That's basically is what RUF does. When you're going to drive the that red Daihatsu, soon TM. First I need to complete every single of the endurance races. After that rallies, and after I'm gonna be done with rallies, I'm gonna do the manufacturer races. And after that, we are gonna be pretty much set. Because that Daihatsu car is a manufacturer race only. And it's a silly little vehicle, but I love it. Okay, so in 2 laps I'm gonna have to go to the pits. But yeah, even for like only 476 brake horsepower car, this thing is this car is performing pretty well, and we are managing to lap other cars as well as we speak. Lesson learned. Never underestimate never underestimate any cars. Alright, right in front of me there's the TVR Cerbera. This goddamn car, I really wanted to drive it. Because after modifying TVR Cerbera, it would have over 550 brake horsepower and 900 plus something weight of the car in total. The problem of this car is that no matter how many modifications you're gonna put into this car was simply constantly oversteering, understeering. There was always the problem with the car revving, over-revving too much, drifting on the third gear when it shouldn't even do that. Don't get me wrong, I like TVRs. I managed to get Griffith to cooperate, but Cerbera 4.5, I could not even make that car cooperate with me even after I bought the active stability and traction control. It was just impossible to tame, to say the least. Whoop, oh, yeah, went a little bit too wide over there. Instead of braking and then going to the corner, I decided to slide, and that was a huge mistake. Because honestly, if I didn't make that mistake, that would be probably the best lap. I really like how this car sounds after applying the muffler. It really sounds very good. It sounds definitely way better than the Mustang. Well, not really a Mustang. It was Shelby GT350. It really sounds like under this hood is like at least like a solid V6. Which I believe this car is actually using the V6 engine. It sounds for the power it delivers. Alright, it's lap number 12, so we're going into the pits. Which also gives me a moment to give a shout out to Crunch. And take a sip of the tea. You're welcome, Crunch. Next big stop at the lap, that's 12, so plus 6 is 18. Whoa, 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 okay, a little bit too brave over there. I'm still driving on the blues, which means the tires are not hot enough to give me enough grip. So I was a little reckless over there, but it's all fine. Honestly, I wouldn't mind to see this car with a higher level of turbocharge. Or just naturally aspirated. That would be even better, I think. I would love to see this car with at least 500 brake horsepower. I'm sure there is another version of this car, which is the LM edition, Limited or Le Mans, that has 706 brake horsepower. Which I'm most likely gonna use that version on the Rome circuit. Because I think it's even on the list of the cars that's in the spreadsheet. And I think, technically speaking, this might be either the longest, if not the second longest race in the entire game. Because sure, you only have 60 laps. But the problem is, a single lap of this race takes at least 1 minute and 50 seconds. And just like that, we managed to reach the best possible lap time right now with 1:47.601. And we got Lotus Esprit outside of a track, almost collided. We had a spin over here. We had a spin. Yeah, I know exactly. I said that this car is like the second best choice. But I said it intentionally because I would say that it's the second, and there goes Dodge Viper. Not even in the corner, but already spinning. I said that, okay, first let's talk about Lotus Esprit. Lotus Esprit would be the second best choice after modifications. After changing the suspension, tires, downforce, you know, all that stuff. Vanilla, not so much. And Dodge Viper over here, well, we should actually make a counter of how many times we're gonna see Dodge Viper spinning during this race. Like, how many times you're gonna see Dodge Viper GTS outside of a track because he made a spin. Because I'm willing to count, it's already number 2. Yeah, a little bit too wide on this. Not the best lap, like over a second slower than my personal best, but so now let me share you a little bit of a story that I noticed today. In Poland, we have this one very popular car that everybody loves, And a matter of fact, a lot of people loves that car, even not even from outside of the Polish border. It's called Fiat 126P. Basically, imagine a Fiat 500R from like 60s. Almost the same body, pretty much identical engine, but just a different body. A car that was made since days of socialism until 1998. Now imagine a situation when this car that normally can barely squeeze 60 miles an hour or 100 kilometers an hour with its little 22 brake horsepower engine, if not maybe a little bit more. Imagine modifying this car that weighs less than a feather. Imagine putting a bigger engine and driving it on a highway with a speed of 240 kilometers an hour while actively running away from the police. See, there is this one guy that actually decided to be an absolute mad lad and drove this little piece of technology. He replaced the engine. He drove on the highway with 240 kilometers an hour, which is 130 kilometers an hour over the limit. He got caught by the police, and when they asked him why he was driving so fast, his answer was that he was on a business, and this car is a business model, and that he means business. Naturally, he got a severe ticket because it was just such a severe speed limit breaking. He got probably also his driving license revoked, probably for an extended amount of time. Because we in Poland, we're actually taking breaking the road laws actually quite seriously for at least 5 to 10 years now. Drinking after influence, we are immediately taking away your driving license. It's not just a ticket, we are just immediately taking your driving license. Breaking the speed limit, depending on the speed limit, it's definitely going to be a ticket, but if the breaking the speed limit is way too severe, it's a temporarily taking away your driving license. Well, unless you had a good reason to drive 240 kilometers an hour on the highway, which I can guarantee you 90% of the time you don't, unless your wife is pregnant and you actually have a fast enough car to drive to the hospital. Thankfully, nobody have ended up being injured at any point during that pursuit, so it all ended up good. And knowing live, because you don't see the little small Fiat 126, even if it's modified, you don't really see that car that often. I'm pretty sure they actually confiscated the car. But not for the purpose of like collecting the evidence or anything like that. I think they took that car because freaking LOL, little car goes burr. Small car means bigger speed. I mean, not wrong. Not wrong. Let's hello, Thunder. Not technically wrong. All things considered, it's not really wrong. Small cars means less weight, means the more power you're gonna put into this car, the more actual power you are going to produce. Because let's not forget about this small thing called power to weight ratio. But just because you have a lot of power in your car, that doesn't mean that you have all the grip to actually maintain the car on the road. It's all pros and cons. It's all pros and cons. The red ones go fast. Yes, the red ones goes faster. The movie Cars is proving that. With the Lightning McQueen being a red car, which by default means that he's the fastest. Hi there, Venturi Atlantic. Just popped out of freaking nowhere. Over there. Hate the color though. I cannot stand this car in that color. This green just does not work good. Pinch yourself purple to hide from the cops. Yeah. You know, I'm just gonna stop at the nearest paint job shop to step in for 5 seconds. Door closes, door opens. All of a sudden, police loses interest. All of a sudden, you are just an innocent civilian. 100% valid strategy. Life hack. You're all fools. If you raise the rear suspension and lower the front suspension, the car is at downhill and drives faster even on flat. You know that it's actually a thing in this game. If you put your front suspension a little bit lower and the rear a little bit higher, your car immediately gains more speed, sadly at the cost of possible grip. Oh wait, hold on, the Viper GTS is in front. And he's off track. That's number 4. I think that's number 4. No, I think it's actually number 3. There goes the Viper. It depends on the track. Some tracks actually can benefit quite a lot from that strategy. From putting the front lower and the rear higher. Yeah, that's definitely. But when it comes to the tracks like this, or Trail Mountain, or maybe, I mean, I could even put the Apricot Hill to it. Putting your suspension of both front and back at the equal level is actually, I think, a much better idea. Because what's gonna matter is the grip on when you make the corner rather than your maximum power output. As in power output, is a maximum speed on the straight. I think they're trying to Oracle jokes in Lander is proving it true. I mean, it just works, you know? If there was a one game mechanic that would be possibly created by Todd Howard, it would be exactly that mechanic. I am not really satisfied with this corner over here. Oh well. Wait, now it's 18, so it's 24. Who do we have in front? Oh, the TVR. Oh boy, how much I wish I could drive this car during this race. But like I said, I tried so hard with the traction control, LSD cell, like suspension, tried to adjust it so freaking meticulously, and the car was like, nah, I'm just gonna oversteer all the time. Sorry, not oversteer, understeer. And I'm gonna over-rev on the third gear for no reason. So I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. You don't want to be driven during that race? No problem. Though probably that server would benefit if I would buy the racing modification on it. Because then I would gain the additional ability to set up the downforce. Which I will just slam it all the way to the right, because... yes. Good driving, Tex. Good driving. How can I correct myself? Oh wait, I'm just gonna slam my front into the other wall on the other end of the corner. Right. I guess it works. There's a weird thing about the AI in this game. Actually, I could talk a little bit about the AI in this game and my personal experience with it. So, let's start with how the AI behaves on this peculiar track, but not only this track. Basically, the AI is programmed in this game in such a way that it takes certain corners way too fast. They are braking way too late, which causes all of them to basically lose all the possible grip and go off the track. Also, if they're gonna spun, if AI is not gonna kick in properly, what happens is that a lot of times the car... How would I describe it? The car basically, the AI tries to revert itself, but it does basically it basically slugs literally inches itself all the way to the barrier, and until the car touches the barrier, only then the car is gonna properly correct itself as it tries to actually freaking drive, which is actually hilarious. And a lot of times when the car tries to correct itself, even though he's already on the track, instead of turning to get that corner, correct itself and just simply drive forward, the car simply drives with the front end into the barrier, which sometimes it actually can make it being stuck even more. Lovely magic of GD2 AI. As someone whose only racing knowledge is NASCAR, and they're making another left turn. Actually, quite an interesting thing have happened as of recently in the motorsports, because actual NASCAR was on the Le Mans, and it actually performed pretty damn good. All I'm hearing is from you is, yes, the car is made of car. Yes. Car is made of car. That's basically how we can summarize some of the things that are happening in this game. Today on Bottom Gear, I'm sniffing straight petroleum. Hammond steals cars from the gangs of Cambodia, and James gives in into the voices. Lots of people like to shit on NASCAR because Le Mans left turn. But they're missing the point. NASCARs are actually, all things considered, I think NASCARs are actually very difficult races. Kinda boring from a viewer perspective. But there's actually a lot of things that are happening when it comes to the car and the races and preparations and whatnot. A small novelty when it comes to NASCAR. I think it was like 2015. I think it was 2015 when one of the drivers, one of the teams, basically on the side of the cars, instead of them being straight, they decided to bend the corners for additional grip, and that helped out quite a lot. Like, they basically decided to bend the corners so instead of being straight, they're being on the angle like this, give or take, more or less. What have happened with that is that a lot of times when they came into a contact between the two drivers, there was a lot of tire punctures, and once the marshals have realized that actually is happening, they decided to ban that strategy. Bending the corners of the car for better grip, because it was started to make your races way too dangerous and wasting way too many tires. In regular motorsports, the point is to control the car's speed through left-right corners. Get speed to take positions. Yep, true. But in NASCAR, the point of the wide left turns is to make it near unnecessary for the cars to either slow down and thus must go maximum speed. Yep, at all times. Also, the NASCARs are kind of ovens. They're kind of ovens. They're driving ovens, sadly. A lot of times when drivers are either quitting the race or ending the race, they're very severely overheated. And I mean very severely overheated. There's like no ventilation in those cars. So you see a lot of times people are just crawling out of the cars, being absolutely dehydrated, overheated, falling down, being weak, because they are driving with some very severe temperatures at all times, and the races can be very, very long too. You're basically driving a sauna to an extent. It's not like in Formula 1 where basically you have the ventilation at all times because your cockpit is not closed. Then again, kind of putting comparison between NASCAR and Formula 1 is a little bit silly. Yeah, that drift was not really necessary. Okay, that was bad. That was very bad. I mean, it's not gonna change the fate of the race, but it was just a very bad corner. Just like this one. But then again, this is a very long race. So you're probably gonna complete this race, and I don't know. I don't really think I'm gonna have enough time to do another one, because right now after this we're gonna only have 2 races left. The one at Laguna Seca and the one at Rome City Course, which for Laguna Seca I already know which car I'm gonna bring with me. I'm thinking about bringing Densosart Supra. Either that, or I'm gonna go for Ardes XL Skyline, because of the additional grip. But then again, I'm actually afraid that Ardes XL Skyline might have this little bit of an issue with the third gear basically going. It's basically a glitch that happens if you play on vanilla FPS, on vanilla frames. Which when it comes to the endurance races, I do that. Because if I'm correct, and I hope I'm kinda not, but I also hope that I am. If you drive this game on higher FPS than vanilla, and you try to go for endurance races, the tire degradation is basically bugging out. Just like the AI bugs out on the rallies. Because technically speaking, the AI of the rallies is not even an AI. It's ghosts. It's basically replays. And ghosts are behaving way differently in comparison to the AI drivers. Which a lot of times when you try to make a rally with basically go for the rally race, if you can call it like this, the AI ghosts are basically crashing right into the wall at the very start of the race. But then again, rallies in themselves are not really that... I hate to say that, but they're not really that interesting. I mean, sure, you can get your car that you're gonna create yourself, you can have a little bit of fun, but for every race you only get money. Only money. And you don't get additional cars. And there's plenty of rallies as well. Like I think in game time it's at least 30 days, 27 days of rallies that are only gonna give you a little bit of money. In which, when you think about it, it's just kind of sad. But on the plus side, I have, I think, at least 2 or 3 cars that I could use for those rallies. Because I managed to win Ford Escort rally car and also Mitsubishi Evo 6. So technically, most of the rallies we should like beat without any problem. I think the only ones that are gonna give me like an actual problems are the Pike Peaks climb and driving it downhill, for which I actually might spend a little bit of time on the Red Rock Valley just so I can get the Escudo, just so I can beat up those races, but I don't know. Because on the other hand, just a proper setting can do all the job for you. Okay, so now we are stopping at lap 36. Controller, please. But honestly, when it comes to getting back into the topic of a NASCAR, I would love to see more NASCAR during Le Mans. I'm not even lying. I really would love to see more of that. Because it is a novelty, and it's an interesting novelty. It's something that nobody expects to be successful. And yet it pretty much was. We still have to do additional 30 laps of the race. We already have scored like give or take 1 hour. Yep, halfway there. Living on the edge. Whoa ho. No, that's totally not a music reference to this song from the 80s. Not at all. Don't worry about it. I was actually looking for additional puzzle sets. For example, the Yakuza series doesn't have any puzzle sets or any good mugs. Dark Souls, you can get like the puzzle sets like actually licensed. There goes Lotus Esprit. You can actually get some licensed Dark Souls puzzles and mugs and whatnot. But sadly, right now we have a situation in which one dude have bought like the only remaining set of Dark Souls puzzles and mugs, There's actually two separate people. One guy had bought the Dark Souls puzzle for himself, and now he's selling it at like 3 times the price that they were originally posted. And the other guy is buying other Dark Souls mug, the one that has the Estus Flask on it. He bought it, he imported him to his own country, and now he wants to sell the same mug at a cheaper price. This also could be a different person altogether. But the problem is, on eBay, as he tries to sell it, the page says, the front page says that he can ship it internationally. But the thing is, if you dig deeper, it says that the seller does not ship it internationally, which is creating a huge confusion. Because mug in itself would be super cheap, considering it's like only, I think, 12 Canadian dollars. So the real price of the item would be just in shipping alone. But when you have a large amount of conflicting information, you kind of don't really know. You kind of don't really know what to grab. So I decided to be like, yeah, whatever. Then I checked on Amazon for like Dark Souls puzzles and mugs. Mugs are not even available. And there are some puzzles, but the thing is, the puzzles are not even like branded or original or even remotely looking like something that was like inspired by Dark Souls, because it's all 90% of the time when it comes to the puzzles from Amazon's are just how to explain it? Okay, so somebody makes a fan art of Dark Souls games, right? Somebody steals that art and converts it into puzzles. That's basically how it is. Somebody steals art, converts that art into a poster, converts that poster into a set of puzzles and selling them at random prices and random sizes. Which is not even original. Probably somebody simply having an allowance to use the brand of Dark Souls and they just found a random image, which usually that is exactly what happens. And trust me, I don't necessarily look for the originals, but I also don't want to see or don't want to have something that is clearly a stolen content that somehow managed to slip between the fingers of somebody else's. Yeah, you better go. You better go to those pits, boy. Go home, Cerbera, you're drunk. Oh, hi, Viper. Should I stop to check if he's actually gonna spin? Oh, he actually didn't spin on this one. Well, that's a novelty, but then again, he just stepped out of the pit, so shouldn't really be surprised. Now that I look on this gearbox, I kind of regret that I didn't modify it. I didn't modify the gearbox. Because now I would like to put a shorter gearing on every single of the gears. Basically, starting from the second gear, I would start from 6,000 RPM, as I usually aim for that number. Starting from 6,000 RPM, as I did with Toyota GT1. And I kind of regret that I didn't do that, but can't really complain about the performance of the car either way. Alright, just 2 more laps, give or take, and we're gonna go to the pits again. I even remember when I was... Whoa. Well, I don't remember this. I remember when I was like playing this game like on my own. Like way in the back in the past. They say I've noticed, okay, 690 brake horsepower limit. Yep, Toyota GD1 it is. Just, you know, a car that fits exactly within the power limit. A car that is just fast enough. Or maybe not just fast enough, but it's super fast. Considering that Toyota GD1 is like one of the best cars in the game. One of the best. Alright, we're going to the pits on this lap. I sincerely doubt that we were going to be able to catch anybody. Yeah, this car on yellow tires is just not before me at all. Hey, David. That was the emote. Oh, you're pretty good. Works here. I mean, you can use the emotes. I don't know why not. I don't know why not. Actually, I'm gonna put some more light. Oh, hi, Ruff. So 36, so now on lap 42, we're going to the pits. Engravings gives you no tactical advantage whatsoever. Well, in reality, what Oslo have said is engravings give you all the tactical advantage that you're ever gonna need. Controllers. Actually, with the emulator, you can set up the triggers to be able to control the acceleration and braking, which I consider to be a much better way to play racing games, all things considered. Because I have already tried to, I already have done a full playthrough of Formula 1 97 with the regular controls, which means X for acceleration and square for braking. It didn't went well. Let me put it like this. My thumb was legitimately hurting like crazy. And here, the only And here, the only thing that hurts me the most is my pride. Yes. Or what's left of it. Don't want to bug you. With the sound effects, I think I have removed the sound effects from the emotes. I believe I did. I don't use that mod anymore. If somebody wants to redeem a sound effect, there is... you can redeem the sound effects for points. And even if, I'm not gonna hear them. Because I have already, I already have set it up. So people can just spam sound effects. And I'm not gonna hear them. But I urge to be considered with these sound effects because, well, you're not alone in the chat, after all. And abusing the sound effects might annoy other people, if it doesn't annoy me. Also see that David Darksain over here doesn't have a sub to my channel. How is that possible? Quoting John Wick, somebody please give that man a sub. Or I don't know, you can buy a sub yourself. But speaking of subs, September. Next topic. Because I'm not gonna lie, Septembers, as of recently, they are not very good. For 2 years straight, we have Septembers that are only rewarding people for the new subs, or for continued subs, or for gifted subs. We're only gonna have one last week of September that's gonna reward people for gifting the subs. And, yep, there goes Lotus Esprit again. Which to me is like... What's the point? September was always about gifting the subs to other people in the community in general. And all of a sudden it's only last week? What kind of September is that? It's like... priorities, please. You know, at least this year, they have decided to... not... hide the gift sub promotion the very last week, like it did it last year. Last year, people were so... annoyed with the gift subs, with the September, that they need to like give so much feedback for them to actually re-enable the gifted subs to be counted into the September. This time they actually included it on the last week, but I always gonna say this much. September, it always should be gifted subs, added like 30% discount throughout the entire month, so everybody has a chance to, you know, to do the gift subs and whatnot. I'm here to chill and relax, and I used my free sub last night, sadly. Oh well. How dare you? How could you? That's a betrayal. No, not really. It's fine, don't worry. Hold on, because I think that my arm rest over here. Okay, my armrest have moved. I needed to adjust that. But yeah, no worries. Are you gonna buy separate ways? Do you already have Resident Evil 4 Remake, David? Because I'm definitely gonna get it. It's a shame that it's $10. The original Resident Evil 4 already had separate ways and assignment ADA pre-built in the game itself, so it kind of sucks. I have RE4R, and I'm mixed on buying separate ways. Little annoyed it's not bundled with it. Yeah, I think everybody has shares the same annoyance when it comes to separate ways. Yeah, we are most likely not even gonna get assignment ADA, which is like, okay, so you're already cutting more content that way. OG game mode? Oh, it's in assignment ADA. Yeah. It does suck a little bit, but then again, who knows? Maybe we just don't know about it. Maybe the assignment ADA is included in the pack. $10 for me, it's not really that expensive. I'm gonna get it. But most likely I'm gonna play that game during the Halloween marathon. Not freshly after release. I think I'm gonna have to... I'm gonna avoid that because somewhere the last week of this month I'm gonna have to give my PC to the shop so they can install a bigger hard drive to it. And also check if the cooling is working, if RAM is, you know, working properly, so it's gonna take a day or two. I want to upgrade my PC before I even went for the surgery, but that did not work out. It would not work out at all. RE4 Remake is good. Village was kind of stretched out, but still fun. Love the castle. Major fan of the OG. Hope the surgery went well. I mean, I'm here. I'm here. I'm talking. I'm breathing. I have not replaced myself. I didn't went Quebble Cop, and I didn't replace myself with an AI. But yeah, surgery went well. It was 2 hours while being constantly awake with only a spatial anesthesia, but partial anesthesia, numbing medicine, whatever. But yeah, it wasn't bad. Yeah, because most of the time when I had the surgery, it was just, you know, wisdom tooth removal. And this time it was also wisdom tooth removal, but I also had a correction from one of the previous surgeries to be applied. Wisdom tooth removal itself took like maybe 15-20 minutes. It was the second surgery that took so long. But besides that, you know, antibiotics, medicine, it's doing its job. This is lab 42, we're going to the pits now. I couldn't do that, I mentally freak out just to knock me out. Yeah, sadly it would not work that way. But yeah, it wasn't bad, really. The numbing medicine, like, did its job. The only worst part that I had to deal with for, like, at least solid 4 to 5 days was swelling. After that, it was just it's pretty much all going it's all going in the proper direction. Like right now, the only thing that I have to deal with is just the annoying stitches. Like that's legitimately the only thing that is like super annoying about all of this now. Because I can constantly feel them tickling the back of my tongue and tickling the upper part of my right upper, you know, lip. Which I'm really trying to ignore, but it's not easy. It is not easy. But that's what you get when the entire swelling from the inside just dissipates. On one side, that means that everything's going correctly. On the other side, I'm gonna have to deal with that annoyance for the next couple days because I'm gonna get my stitches removed on Thursday at the 21st. So you know, after that, it's probably gonna only be like 1 or 2 visits at the doctor to see if the wound is actually fixing itself correctly as well, and then it's all good. We're done. Oh, yep, now I'm visiting the grass. Or gravel. This actually is a gravel, I think. Also, did you know, David, that they're gonna release remasters of Tomb Raider games, the first 3 ones? And I'm probably gonna get it. I'm gonna put a fundraiser on, but I'm definitely gonna get it. Because it's gonna be a golden opportunity for me to actually do a Tomb Raider marathon. Of all the games that I own, besides the modern ones. I don't know, I might play the modern one, but I don't know which ones I have. I know I have the first one, but I don't believe that I have all the DLCs for it. Last time I had the numbing stuff. Twice actually. Yeah, you can get the numbing medication twice. If the first one just doesn't do the job properly, that's true. This is open, stitched up. The look went funny and felt every time needle went through. Jesus. Yes, thought it was cool. In fact, it's bundled with all the expansions too. Yeah, that's also pretty true. They got all the expansions for it, for the classic Tomb Raiders. Yeah, I'm really happy about it, so I'm definitely gonna get it. Wish they also included the Tomb Raider 4 and the Chronicles, which is the 5th one. Don't really care about Angel of Darkness. I already have the MGS collection. Also gonna play it. I'm gonna make a marathon out of that. I'm still... I would make even a bigger marathon, because, okay, let's think about it. I already have Metal Gear Solid 5, which story-wise, chronologically, would went after Metal Gear Solid 3. So it will be MGS 3, 5, 1, 2, 4, and that's it. But I don't have the Metal Gear Solid 4. I'm crossing my fingers and hoping that they're gonna also remaster Metal Gear Solid 4. Because it is a great conclusion into the saga of Metal Gear in itself. And after that, I could even add a bonus of Metal Gear Rising, which I also have. Because it's a fun game, it's a great game. Right now, the only good way to play Metal Gear Solid 4 is having an original CD, burning out the image of that CD, which you can do, it's actually pretty easy these days, and having the emulator. Unless you can get a working PlayStation 3 and a capture card. The Awesome Industry remaster are ridiculously small. Maybe, yeah, but you know, I'm driving on that copium. I'm going full James scope on that one. I mean, technically speaking, Metal Gear Solid 2 also has like a Playboy-ish magazine included, which you can use as a distraction, which I'm definitely gonna do that. I mean, Metal Gear Solid 3 also has Calorie Mate. So it shouldn't be that big of a deal. Unless they're just gonna recolor it, like, and retexture the things. But in 4, they're literally called Playboy in the main. Oh, okay, I see. I see. I can see your point now. I mean, there's always an option that they're gonna basically take the things and they're just gonna retexture them. And instead of calling them, you know, Playboy, they're gonna call them Play Dude or something. So yes, you know, it's just like Bloodborne. It's gonna happen, guys. The Bloodborne PC is gonna happen. Driving on that copium as much as I can. Because I really would like to see Metal Gear Solid 4 in PC and the Bloodborne. Would really love for that to happen. More effort than Konami would be willing to put into. I mean, let me put it like this: what Konami does right now is they are woken up. They have lost way too much money on pachinkos, and because they need more money, they're now woken up with an idea. Hey, look, we have those video game titles, we have those genres, we have those franchises over here that we could fucking utilize. Let's spread that. Let's basically give all the titles to those random companies. Let them make their own thing. Let's spread the influence of our franchises more than the prostitute spreads her legs. I mean, think about it. They gave the Silent Hill 2 licensing to the Bluebird team. a Bloober team that is a team of developers that does not really have that good of a renown in a game development world, because they were accused a lot of times of the asset stealing, asset copying, not making good games. And apparently they have said that they're gonna step away from an idea of making psychologically horror-driven games with lot stories and rich characters, and they're gonna go for just manufacturing action horror games because money. Though the words that I have just said cannot be really confirmed. As true, because again, it was all just a Twitter post, and I trust Twitter posts as much as I trust my gut when I drink too much milk. And I have no more tea. So hold on, I actually need to drink some water, so that's basically all there is. Yeah, everything is copyrighted. Like, let me put it something like this. The copyright system is a little bit weird. Because, okay. Because, and a good example of that would be Cyberpunk 2077. In Cyberpunk 2077, you have an option to mute all the songs that are, you know, copyrighted, that could be copyright claimed, or get your VOD muted. And when it comes to the Twitch, that actually works. All the songs that are playing in while I was streaming are not muted, they're not claimed or anything. I didn't got any copyright strikes or anything like that. YouTube, on the other hand, still detects a lot of songs and make copyright claims, automatic copyright claims, based on the fact that just those songs exist, even though, you know, you pick up the option and you have the songs that should not make you copyright claimed whatsoever. But, you know, that's YouTube for you, sadly. When it comes to the copyright issues and everything like that, there needs to be some severe corrections. YouTube needs to like put a little bit more human interaction into this, because right now the entire copyright system that is included is not really working in the favor of the creator. Especially when you as a person, you can claim that you are a director or the main developer or main director of Gran Turismo 2, an example, that you're a director and you are copyright claiming every single of my videos without having any evidence. Because there is a guy that already has that problem. He's actually getting stalked by somebody, and that person claims to do everything to basically get this guy's channels erased, and because there's no middle party between the copyright claimant and defendant, this guy is in some big amount of trouble. And if you want to like retract the copyright claim, you basically need to dox yourself. Basically give your full name and address and everything like that. And the final decision about if the copyright claim or copyright strike belongs to the person that gives you the claim, not to the like middle party that actually takes a look at all of this. Which is pretty bad. It's pretty bad for the content creators anyway. Sentinels 2 is going to be a complete disaster, 100% sure of it. I'm gonna put it like this. To me, Silent Hill 2, the remake, is most likely is not gonna be as good as the Silent Hill 2, the original. Because we have to assume one thing out of the bat. For majority of the people, Silent Hill 2, the original, is always gonna be the best psychological horror, if not the best survival horror game of all time period.com. Nothing can beat it. It's the best. To step into the shoes making a remake of such games, it's like such a huge shoes to fill that I honestly do not expect for that game to be even remotely close of the quality to the original Silent Hill. The original Silent Hill 2. It might be a fun game. It might be a good game. It might be a game that actually puts a little bit of a twist on the certain ideas that the original had. But it's not gonna be the same game at all. It's not gonna be. It's never gonna be. I sincerely hope that Silent Hill 2 remake is gonna be a good game, but we're gonna see how the Bloober team is gonna direct that game in the first place. Let me put it like this: I always say it in such way. I'm hoping for the good, expecting the worst, so I can be surprised by the best. Also, if you don't hype yourself, you can't get disappointed. Left 4 Dead 2. Yeah. I haven't played Left 4 Dead 2 in like ages. I don't even have it installed anymore. Hey Jazz, that's a lot of laps. Yep, and it's not even like the shortest race in the game. Not even kidding. This is not even like the shortest race in the game. There's one that's gonna take at least 2 hours to beat. This one is gonna take at least 2 hours to beat. There's no 48-hour races, sadly. If you want like 6-hour, 12-hour races, I would need to go for an actual racing simulators, like iRacing or what would be Assetto Corsa maybe? Maybe Assetto Corsa would have races like that, but not this game. By the way, the game claims that this is 300 kilometers. This is a 300 kilometers race, which I'm calling bollocks on that, like openly. There's no way that this is a 300 kilometers. Le Mans is 24 hours, but you know, you have replacement drivers and replacement cars. So people can actually catch some break, because that is super exhausting to drive. The current racing simulators can give you like solid 6 hours of racing, no problem. even 12 hours of racing. If I recall correctly, the only person who I have saw doing like 6 hours and 12 hours of racing on the racing sims was Jimmy Broadbent, and he's doing those races quite frequently. Oh Jesus, he's doing those races quite frequently too. Speaking of Silent Hill 2 Remake, I want Eddie DLC when you run around the town and punching mannequins. Shooting dogs and recover HP with pizza. like a 2D shooter, right? And every single time the Eddie like squats down, you can actually hear him fart. And every single time he picks up pizza, it's a "Here, pizza." You are getting new PC, guess what game will come out? Yep, that field game. I mean, look, I don't hate on the game, I never played it, I just have no interest in it. I can hate on Bethesda because they are fucking up royally. But if you're gonna enjoy it, then hey, be my guest, dude. Be my guest. You can play it in Bolorama. I really wish that was true. Alright, the last laps of the race. That was the last pit stop that I have done. I'm gonna be freaking done with this. That gets all pissy at you. I hate bowling. Yeah, and then she's gonna come with James, giggity, to the back of the shop, and she's gonna unlock the door with the 3 keys of the simp. Tier 3 OnlyFans and Patreon. And then James, when he's gonna find the when he's gonna watch the tape of what he actually did, instead of like mourning, he's gonna start throwing it back. Whoa, what is that the Sprint is doing, dude? Yeah, OnlyFans. The only scams. Bye, Lotus. I wanted to drive you, kind of, not really. I mean, that would be my third option. We need OnlyFans here in the UK. Yeah. It was actually pretty hot yesterday for me, but the temperature has actually changed. It's actually dropping down now. The summer is getting over, and I will be able to get hoodies outside, and I'm gonna be able to get comfy and wear beanies and basically be good and be comfortable. And not sweat like a rat. I actually don't really like summer. I'm not a summer person, I'm not a spring person. Because starting spring and basically throughout the entire season up until like fall, all the allergies are waking up, and you know, I'm running constantly with my nose drops in every single place, even the house. Yeah, the other thing that can actually keep the heat in your place is your own PC. Because PCs can actually, you know, despite the fact that it's perfectly safe, and that was a Viper, that was probably Viper number 4 or 5 that have spun. But despite, you know, the fact that it's perfectly safe, your PC is actually heating up depending on which game you play. The PCs are heating up to 60 degrees Celsius, so your legs are constantly getting a certain amount of heat. For example, I can basically walk the entire year in flip-flops. I don't need to have like warm any kind of shoe for the winter, because the PC is providing all the heat that I ever need. Rafflecopter is such an ancient freaking meme, dude. It is so old. Rafflecopter goes swa swa swa. Such an old meme. In the time, yeah, sure, you can post it. In the times when using Microsoft Sam was fun and funny. Well, there goes the rough RCT, and he also spun. And we got only 2 laps left. Okay, I don't know what I was thinking over there. I think the tiredness is getting to me. This PS5 is not that old yet. Well, it's gonna get old, but it's not gonna get any more games. It's actually pretty sad that the PlayStation 5, a console that is like already 4 or 5 years into its like release, and it still doesn't have anything decent on its plate. Like, it just doesn't. The only thing that keeps the PlayStation 5 like still alive are the exclusives. But then again, you can say that the same thing about all the consoles. It's like, if there were not exclusives, people will only buy consoles because they cannot afford building up a PC. That's basically what it is. And a lot of times, that is an actual truth. And consoles are good alternatives, all things considered. Been there, done that already in the new PC. Yeah, we know that. Alright, the final lap of the race. Like, thank God. Like, it's almost a 2-hour race. Oh no. It's like an almost 2-hour race, like, Jesus Christ. And I really wish I could have more time to like, do a third race, but it's gonna be impossible, sadly, because I'm getting tired. My eyes are getting tired. So I'm probably gonna do the remaining 2 endurance races tomorrow, most likely. Right now, the only thing that I'm thinking about is getting a good reward. Because honestly, I want to get that R1390 GD1 from '97. But if I'm gonna get the Subaru Impreza rally car, then I'm not really gonna complain that much about it. Because it's gonna be the same car as you could get as a winning from Gran Turismo 1. Alright, and off to the finish line. Emotional damage? I don't know. I was expecting GG and you're giving me emotional damage, like why? Alright, so the second Venturi have 2 laps behind, TVR with the 5 laps, Rough surprisingly 6 laps. Lotus Esprit with 7 and Viper GDS, unsurprisingly 8 laps. I'm not gonna watch it for another 2 hours of a freaking replay. I'm not that desperate. At least we got 500,000 for this. All right. Let's see what kind of card we're gonna
Welcome
we're gonna
back.
want. And David with a tier 1 for 7 months. Thank you very much. There's your sub. Cost me my month's loaf of bread. Oh boy. Thank you for the loaf of bread. Yeah, Subaru Impreza. But honestly, I cannot really complain. Decent power, low weight, and perfect color. So it could be worse. It could be a black one. Instead we got a blue one, as in car color, obviously. So yeah, not bad at all. And also it's a 22B version of the Subaru Impreza. But like I said, I cannot really complain. It's all good. It's all fine and dandy. So, ladies and gentlemen, people of Twitch, we're still gonna be here for a little bit. But people of YouTube, this is gonna be the end of this episode. Hope you guys have enjoyed. If you did, consider subscribing, ringing the bell, stopping the like, leaving a comment, all that good stuff. Links for all my socials can be found in the description below as well as the pinned comment. And the final credit goes to the music creator that is basically allowed for the music to be played in the background. His name is Carl Casey, and his official website is whitebatstudio.com. And sorry, I need to reread that because I'm tired. His official website is whitebataudio.com, but his YouTube channel is Whitebat Studio, so consider also giving a follow and subscribe over there. Thank you guys once again, and I'll see you guys on the next race.